Hello and welcome to A Moment in Time with Nex. This will probably be the shortest book review I have ever done. I am doing this live, but it is 4:30 in the morning, so I don't think we're going to have anyone come in and get me on too much of a tangent, and I don't really have much to say about this book, but I did read it, so hopefully it saves you some time and effort if you come across this book for some reason. It's called From the Craft to Christ by S.A. Tower. This was actually a birthday present from my mom. Um, some of you may know that I've been exploring different varieties of witchcraft and magic this year, and my mom is a Christian. I grew up Christian, evangelical Christian, and I used to be super into it, so I'm pretty familiar with Christianity and its teachings, and this book was largely a waste of time. It did have some interesting information about Wicca, which only made me like Wicca more. I'm not Wiccan. I don't really subscribe to any religion, but I didn't see any good reason in this book to that was like anti-Wicca, or anything that made me think that Christianity was like valid or legitimate or necessary or good in any way. So I didn't like it. I wouldn't recommend it. I almost didn't even read it, but I just felt like, it's my mom. She raised me. If she were to pass away and I had, refused to read this book that she gifted me out of whatever kind of principle or something, I just figured it's better to just be open-minded, read the book, see what's in there. So the first part of the book is basically teaching you what Wiccanism is, what witchcraft is, maybe teaching some information about Christianity. It's mostly written for Christians who are trying to interact with people who are into witchcraft. Hi, Cher, first comment to the broadcast. Hi, Tony. I did read it. Yeah, you were probably there when I was very conflicted about whether I was going to read this or not. I read both books. My next book review, which I'm going to do right after this one, is on a book called Belief Without Borders, Inside the Minds of the Spiritual but Not Religious. So we'll talk about that one, which I have a little more to say about that one than this one. This one's generally, it just talks about what Wiccanism is, things like strategies for trying to convert witches and things to avoid and the reasons that people leave Christianity and go to witchcraft and Wiccan covens. And then the second half, if not the majority of the book, is just testimonials of people who used to be into witchcraft and are now Christians. And none of their testimonials were convincing, or really, I just didn't find anything in here that would be appropriate in converting someone. It's just kind of a lot of it's just a lot of Christian jargon about how great Christianity is and how people should not dabble in witchcraft and how it's from the devil and etc. So not a fan, but that's my review of this one, From the Craft to Christ. So I have really pretty much nothing to say. I mean, at least I feel like an okay daughter now. I feel like I did something for my mom and I like reading. So it was also probably, exposed me to some level of some around trauma that has to do with Christianity. The early parts of the book were very triggering and activating for me. So I found some residual I guess bitterness or resentment towards Christianity in their in your face evangelism strategy. I don't think my mom's ever read this book. I think that she would benefit from reading it in terms of just getting a little more educated on what witchcraft and magic even is, rather than just assuming that it's so horrible and dark and satanic, and that it's kind of this book tells you people that are into Wicca or witchcraft or whatever magic aren't satanic necessarily. Satanism is it's its own religion. So yeah, maybe I'll bring it with me when I go back home for Christmas and be like, here's your book, Mom. You paid for it. I read it. I don't want it. If you want to read it, maybe you'll understand me a little bit more, since I took the time to read this, even though I'm thoroughly understand Christianity. My mom has showed no interest in actually asking me questions or having dialogue or discussion with me about this subject. She just wants to find books on Amazon that seem to be maybe this will just convert me or convince me, even though she's not familiar with the book herself. So I love my mom, you know, but the evangelical Christian thing is like very icky, and I think it serves to alienate her from people a lot of times. It just makes us not want to engage. Anyway, that is what it is. So I'm going to end this stream, and I'm going to come back with the next book that I'll be reviewing, which is Belief Without Borders, Inside the Minds of the Spiritual But Not Religious, which is another book that my mom got me for my birthday this year. All right, I love you guys. You are worthy of being loved and feeling comfortable in your own skin. Hi, Art. Expreme Diem, squeeze the day. This has been A Moment in Time with Nex. I will see you very soon. Congratulations, Cher, on the new baby coming in. I hope everything goes smoothly, and congratulations on being an aunt. Mwah. I love you guys. I will see you in